Yeah, a relatively short trip compared to what we're used to. A long trip, certainly Southend last weekend. Walsall, we'll manage to train at our training ground, so we'll be used to that environment on Friday morning, and then we'll make the journey up here at the M5, M6 to Walsall. Look, it's a game we're against an opposition who've started the season well. I was at their game on Tuesday night, and they're excellent in some respects to their play, and with a dominant team and well-deserved winners. And always been a strong team at home. Had a real experience there last season, where we were poor, really poor for half the game. Came back into it second half and managed to get a stranglehold of the game, only to lose out 3-1 at the end. And that was our last game before the season was suspended as well. So certainly mixed experiences in relation to Walsall, but we're expecting a game with a really strong opposition and an opposition who are really on their mettle at the moment. So we've got to match that, and we've got to use the ball. I expect it to be a good pitch and a fast game. And two teams going at each other. So hopefully we'll come out on top in relation to that. We've certainly got to improve certain areas in relation to our performance last weekend. But we've got a hungry group of players who've worked well this week and ready for this weekend.
You mentioned their home form now. I think stretching back to before lockdown, that's 10 games unbeaten in the league. I mean, they're going to be a tough team to break down, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. They've got some really strong players, a lot of attacking threats from all over the pitch. But we've got to get their attacking players deeper, not allow them closer to our goal. So field position will be a big aspect, and that was one thing we looked at last weekend, because our field position against Southend was excellent. But it's all well and good having the majority of the field position and the actual possession of the ball. We've got to use it and get an end product off the back of that. But two honest teams, a manager who's worked really well with a group of players there, had a lot of success previously with Bristol Rovers, a relatively local team to us, and a certain way of playing. I've got full respect for their intensity and their desire to get at teams and put teams under pressure. We've got to respond to that. Like I say, last season my mind cast back and we didn't handle the pressure the opposition put on us for 45 minutes of that game. So that might be a bit of a clue in relation to what to expect this weekend. We've got to start the game well, settle ourselves down and use that ball and get some of our attacking players high up the pitch as well.
Games against Walsall, particularly in the last couple of matches, have rarely gone without incident. We had the 3-3 here and then the offside call in the 3-1 before lockdown. I mean, you must be hoping for a simple game against them.
Yeah, I mean, you try and put that offside call to the back in mind because it was such a big moment in context of that game, and then obviously the rest of the season in relation to that. And then the 3-3 game was incredible. It was the day was wet through from start to finish. We had a couple of slips and all of a sudden we're 3-0 down in the first half. We got back to 3-2 at half time and then got to equalise relatively early, and you're thinking, can we go on and win the game? So it's never straightforward, but it's never going to be against good opposition, and they've improved on what they were last season, and we expect them to be challenging there or thereabouts this season. Like I say, you go away from home, you want to start the game well, you want to settle everyone down, but then you've got to remain concentrated throughout, something we didn't quite do during the mid part of both halves last weekend, allowing Southend a method to get out front and to target our goal. But it'll still come down to the moments, which decision-making moments are the most important, and which players execute their skills on the day. Hopefully we get a sensible approach to the game from the players. I think they're under no illusions in terms of their mindset of what to expect this weekend. And like I always say, it'll be two good teams going at it. Hopefully we give ourselves a chance. I
think this is the start of 6 games in 18 days. How are the squad looking fitness-wise?
A few question marks over a few personnel, which isn't ideal. I said in previous interviews, we had a few missing, not so much with themselves, but with certainly family members being ill at the start of the week, and just waiting on test results. So obviously no players allowed to train or come into the training ground until they get their results. So 3 or 4 down at the start of the week, but hopefully those 3 or 4 players are now available going into the weekend. And we've got a few niggles and injuries, and we don't expect any of them to be long-term. But certainly when you put it that way, 6 games in 18 days, that's a big ask for any group of players who are all fully fit. So not ideal in relation to that, but it's more opportunities or better opportunity for some of the players on the fringes.
I know you were disappointed with the performance at Southend last weekend, but one positive from our away games is the goals we're scoring. I make that 10 goals away from home this season already. Yeah,
obviously counting the Swindon game in there, yeah. Look, we're scoring goals. There's no hiding away from that fact. I'm delighted we're scoring goals and we look like we've got a goal threat about us. But we need to stop going behind in games. We need to stop conceding. and whether you call them sloppy goals or goals which could be prevented, we've just got to stand up to those moments and be better in those moments. And like I touched upon, maybe that's a bit of concentration. Players still finding the feet and finding partnerships within units on that pitch as well. So we certainly don't want to be behind this weekend. But if we do go behind, then we've got to scrap to get back in the game. And we want to be ahead and then stay ahead. First goal at our level of football is absolutely key, has been for a number of years now, and that will continue. So, like I say, we want to get ahead and stay ahead, but there'll be a lot of scrapping and fighting and earning the right to do that beforehand.
But goals are coming from all over the field, defenders, midfielders and strikers all getting in, and that must be really pleasing that we've got an all-round side that can pitch in.
Yeah, we've certainly got a threat about us. Some of those defenders chipping in. I think our set pieces have been strong so far this season. Joe Randall's obviously in form. And Fish came on and took his goal really well. So, we speak about sharing the goals out, and that's important. You always want your centre forwards scoring goals and the attacking players involved in goals or certainly attacking moments. But if anyone else can contribute, that's vitally important. But defenders still have to defend. They're judged upon how the opposition get on in front of our goals. And you're judged upon clean sheets, even as a goalkeeper, centre halves, and so on and so forth. So we know what we want to work towards in terms of goals conceded. But hopefully, improve that stat while still not taking anything away from our attacking threat. And maybe we're a little bit more open as a team this season. And we're seeing the benefits one end of the pitch, but also struggling off the back of it, the other end of the pitch.